Hi, I'm Callie Harris, and I'm going to present today about the legal aspects of teacher evaluation. Some of the things that I learned about teacher evaluation is that they are governed by the state law, but generally designed at the district level and operated at the district level. And I found that to be a little surprising because our district uses the KEEP evaluation, which is designed by the state. Feedback is supposed to guide all of the professional learning for teachers. It's really a contentious topic. This is one you hear about on the news a lot. And we didn't hear about it until the late 2000s, which I can speak to because I started teaching in 2004, and we did not have any evaluation in process at all. I had taught 7 years before I had my first evaluation. In that time period, new research emerged. There was a lot of interest in ridding public schools of bad teachers, a lot of philanthropic interest, and a lot of political pressure to increase performance in public schools. There were lots of quality control systems brought to the surface, but what we're finding is nothing is really changing even with the new teacher evaluations. They're not effective. Teachers are still getting satisfactory rankings, even if they are not performing. And tenured teachers were never being replaced. In 2009, the federal government had kind of had enough and put some money where their mouth was. They put $4.3 billion provided through grants for a policy change and development of teacher evaluation systems called the American Reinvestment and Recovery Act. These grants were for the states who would put teacher evaluation in process and make it mandatory. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation put in $700 million on its own. This came out all about the same time as the Common Core state standards. The systems that are currently in place are like the framework for teaching, where you might have a pre-conference, formal observation, work through a rubric, and provide feedback and set targets for professional growth. And then the other model that we have read a lot about is called the value-added model. And this value-added model uses test scores and predictions of success to measure effectiveness rather than teacher observation. The NEA identified 6 elements for evaluation and reform. Safe collaboration means that there should be transparency and open collaboration to build communities. And the second one is multiple ratings and clear standards. This means they should be able to get feedback on a given topic so that there can be no bias, clear and actionable. Integrated means these should be tied to the curriculum standards. The validated measure means the effectiveness needs to be graded on predetermined standards. Teacher input discusses they should be able to set the procedures and goals for student learning that should be evaluated. And then it should have some creation and input from teachers before the process is in place. The core teaching standards that teachers ought to be evaluated on, there are 10 of them. These are the standards that I feel like I am the most familiar with because of the KEEP. Learner development, learner differences, learning environment, content knowledge, application of content, assessment, planning for instruction, instructional strategies, professional learning and ethical practice, and leadership and collaboration. Multiple measures is something that the unions have also talked a lot about. When we talk about multiple measures, this should strengthen the process of evaluation. It should give a complete picture of how the teacher contributes to student learning and promote collaboration for success among teachers. There should also be a part about contribution to professional growth. This should give teachers feedback about their practice and how it's going to set them up for new learning opportunities. Setting the stage for improvement in teaching and learning means we should really know information about student learning, and this is especially important for teachers like me who teach students who may not be in state assessed grades. The concerns the unions have is, there's the potential for evaluation to be fantastic if it's done well. They are wary, which most people would be, about connecting feedback to praise just because of potential bias and using only one measure of state assessment scores. What I learned is there's a lot of litigation surrounding this topic. And it has to be tied with generally using student test scores. There's a bias, or it's not fair. The student base, and what I am learning is though lots of suits were filed, not many teachers were deemed the winners. The cases were dismissed. The question of, is it working and is it worth it? So far, there doesn't seem to be a lot of information about that. There are a few studies coming out that say it is making a difference for students, but just not a lot. It's kind of an interesting topic, and it was very interesting to get to know a little bit more about it. Thanks for spending some time with me today.